For you. Don't worry, it'll be here when you get back.
That's for sure. It always is. That's the beauty, right?
Yeah. Hi, Dave and Pat.
Hello.
Hello.
I can hear you guys.
Excellent. All right. So, because we are.
Oops. Oh, she's muting herself to talk to her.
Okay. Since we are kind of having this meeting a little bit hybrid, I'm going to call us officially to order at 6:37. And I'm going to do a roll call just because I also can't tell everybody that's there. So Jen Gaelic, the commission chairperson, is here. Dave Pecoraro, you are also participating virtually. Pat Ryan, I see, is there. I can see Jamie. Emily, I can see you on the camera. I know Nicole is there because she is the mastermind behind the computer. Is there anyone else who is there in person?
No, there's not.
Okay, so it's just us then, which is fine because we still have a quorum. So that is what we need. Perfect. Okay, first item on our agenda this evening is public comment. Assuming since there's nobody there, that there is nobody for public comment. So then we can move steadily along to agenda item 3, which is approval of the minutes from the June 25th regular meeting. Emily was kind enough to send those out to everyone to review. Were there any edits or tweaks that we needed to make to that?
I don't think so. I think everything was.
I think one thing I just wanted to check was whether I wrote the correct room, because sometimes I don't edit that part at the top, but we were in this room, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Yes, it says commissioner room, so I have to fix that detail on the top to say selectmen's conference room.
Selectmen's conference room, okay.
Well, I can make that.
Good noticing the finer details. I wonder if we could just list it as like town hall so that you don't have to constantly tweak the space.
Right.
That's a good idea. I always, I've done
just
that.
Because it's like a little bit like wild to have to to fix it for something like that. And we're at town hall always, so that sounds fine. Okay, so can I get a motion to approve the June 25th meeting minutes with the location amended, as Emily just reviewed?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Perfect. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second. Fantastic. Either Pat or Emily can be our second. All in favor? Aye. Awesome. So passes unanimously. Agenda item 4 is just a discussion, a check-in about summer camp. So Nicole, I'm going to turn it over to you to tell us how things are going so far.
I feel like things are going very well, actually. We have a max number of 60 so far this summer, but it seems like as the weeks go on, even the slower weeks, we're getting more and more kids, more and more families reaching out to add in, or people that just came for a week that want to add in weeks. We had a little hiccup with the moon bounces, potentially not being able to use it this week for the carnival, but we wound up working it out, and we will have moon bounces on Friday for Carnival Day, so that's exciting. The staff is doing very well, I do have to say that, and they're receptive to corrective criticism. So it's been good. I've been happy with them. We went to the Veterans Park for the first time last week, which I felt, went very, very well. The gate, the fence definitely put me at ease, like that the kids were secure and they automatically latch, and it was nice, and we spread the staff out and it just worked very well.
The gate is around the playground or the
whole the tennis court, the basketball court. I will say, just as a parent who is sending their child there, I signed up for a couple weeks and I was not sure how, Drew was gonna like it. He was like, can I sign up for more weeks? When am I going? It's so he's so happy to see his friends. that he doesn't, like, hasn't gotten to, like, see. Talks about, like, the counselors wait, like, it's almost like now he knows, like, the counselors' names a lot more too than like in the past, which is nice. You know, and dropping off at Veterans Park, which in the past I didn't send him when it was at Veterans Park. It was nice to, like, there definitely was more of a sense of comfort with it being closed in like that. And again, you know, all the kids seem to, like, not all the kids, but the kids that, like, I've seen Drew with and stuff like that really seem to be enjoying it. You know, so I think that that's been a great thing. So thank you, you know, for everything you've done to get this up and running, because I do think it's been really helpful. And I feel like parents are hearing a lot of positive things that don't have their kids there. So thank you.
I appreciate it. I really, think that, you know, it's, obviously we wish we had 100 kids, but just having the smaller amount of kids definitely is making it easier for us as far as that we're building the relationships with the kids. I think I know every single kid's name in the program.
Yeah.
You know, learning the parents, it's a huge help, because it's knock on wood, we really haven't had many behavioral issues, and everything that we've had, we've been able to have a conversation, A, with the kids, and B, with the parents.
Yeah.
And it makes things very nice and easy when you can do that.
It's like when you open up a restaurant and you do like a soft opening at first, right? And it's like half capacity. And honestly, Nicole, like that's a huge testament that like the numbers continue to grow over the course of the summer, because if people weren't happy or weren't hearing positive feedback, right, you wouldn't see those numbers continuing to increase as the weeks go on. So that's fantastic, and truly a testament to like your hard work, Mike's hard work, and like all of the counselors and the hard work that they're putting in. So I think you know how appreciative we all are of the work that you guys have done to get this up and running, especially with a really tight timeline. But if you don't, I want to make sure that I say it again, because we for sure would not have been here without you with this.
We obviously too appreciate the parents that, you know, are sending in their kids with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, my own personal children are so excited, like cannot wait. And this is the first year ever that they like can't wait to get back to Connecticut, because they are so excited to be going. Like every time we look at the menu of activities, they're sad about the things that they're missing. And I'm like, don't worry, there's gonna be lots of fun when you get there.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
And then
Yeah,
from
and I just want to echo, sorry to interrupt, I just want to echo the same thing. I just want to get a word in too. DJ says the same thing. You know, when I pick him up, he's upset because he wants to stay at camp. So, yeah, so it's all positive. Right, it's all positive.
That's
I was
awesome.
wondering if that was DJ putting his opinion in the background.
Right? He's like, tell them I said it's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nicole, what happened with the moon bounce? Was it the insurance thing?
Yeah, it was insurance, yeah, but it's all straightened out now.
Okay, that's perfect. Awesome. Good to know.
I had a question.
Yeah.
Is the lower numbers affecting the operation? Is that a budget issue, or is it?
No, because Leslie and I sat down and we figured out what would, the budget would be for staffing, the percentage, and also what the percentage would be for actual expenses. And Leslie and I Leslie agreed that if we had to go a little bit over in staffing, just to make sure things are right, they were okay with that. I don't think we will, but
It's a buffer.
yeah.
And last
How
time you
many did
said
we
something.
budget for initially? Was it 50? Was it
no,
when we were going through?
they budgeted for a full camp.
Oh, we did budget for
Yeah,
full camp?
first.
I remember, I didn't remember free.
So that's what I was gonna say, we're
Then.
a little over 100,000, and there's about 15,000 that's not collected, but the majority of that is people that are coming in April. And then we have two people that I worked out a payment plan with, so we're doing pretty good on collecting the money, that's
That's good. That's success in itself.
yeah. So every week
Yeah.
I email the parents who owe for like the
Yeah.
upcoming week and say, hey, just a reminder.
Okay. I was gonna say, and so far no issue. I mean, I know you said that you've got a couple of people who we worked out payment plans for, and I think that that's perfect, but no issues as far as like people not paying in advance for their week outside of those.
No,
Good.
nope,
That's
nope,
awesome.
everybody's been great.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then just getting everyone used to the paperwork part of it too.
Right. I get that, especially as somebody who like bootleg emailed you like pictures of my paperwork, and my stepfather's dropping off the boys' physicals tomorrow. Totally get that. Totally get that. Nicole, maybe for our August meeting, because it will be right at the end of summer camp, maybe we can have you bring us like a little bit of a budget update about just kind of like where it looks like we're standing as far as money in and then expenses out.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, perfect. Anything else people want to chat about as far as summer camp goes?
We definitely want to institute something next year, and I know Cheryl and I talked over at the Board of Ed about putting together something where the parents sign off that we could share information, because there has been some issues with the communication when it comes to whose kids in ESY or Boost and how they're getting there, and who could pick them up and who can't pick them up, and so I think I'm gonna create some kind of form for that for next year, so the parents have to fill it out, when their kid's going, what time they're going, and instead of sending the email that may, slip through the cracks or whatever, and then who's responsible from getting turned to school, and if there's any discussion that needs to be made, we can have it with the school.
Right.
So.
That makes sense.
I think that makes good sense. And Nicole, that might even be something that we want to put in place before and after care starts.
Yeah.
Because, right, like there will be times where like kids are staying for the school play or they're staying for, and you might want to be able to have that ability then, so we could even trial something for that and then turnkey it for summer camp again.
Yeah. And we definitely will have to budget, I think next time we do budgeting for just a runner, because it legit takes like one person the whole morning is running around bringing kids back and forth.
Oh, because they're going back and forth at different times.
Yeah, there's 8, there's 9, there's 9:30, there's 10, there's 11, there's 11:30. So
I wonder if there's a way to work with the school too at some point. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Whoever's their ESY person over there to try, like if they're gonna be Parks and Rec kids too, to kind of make it a little more streamlined, just having Bethany ESY coordinator. Sometimes you can do that where it's like, put a certain group from this time and that time, so it's not staggered, so it does make camp situation a little bit easier for the parents who need that. Cause it is nice to have it, together there, so maybe there's a way to work on that together.
Absolutely. So Nicole, are you finding that ESY things end at all different times?
No, I think it's Boost and in and out, and there's so many different programs and there's so many different because I think.
Because if you're just going for a reading,
one program,
like if they just do a reading thing itinerant, or counseling or something like that, or speech, they wouldn't necessarily, it's not a cookie cutter necessarily for ESY services maybe over there.
Right.
Or,
yeah,
so
that is definitely something that we can kind of think through and plan more with Cheryl for next year, so that we don't have as much of that.
Right.
Or like you said, have another staff member so that you have somebody who can be that kind of like.
We kind of have someone designated, but like you can't have them committed to like as a counselor.
Yeah.
Because they're walking away, and then they have to be with somebody, so it's 2 people.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah, something to talk through, and maybe it's something that like we can even kind of like share with the school if they want to be able to kind of like partner with us, that it's somebody that like we kind of work through salary pieces together.
I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. Like a problem that we didn't anticipate that we'll have to work through a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if there's a way we could split the cost or something.
Yeah. Especially because, right, like as a parent, like you want that ability to send your kid to camp afterwards and not have to go back. If your kid goes for 30 minutes of speech, you don't want to have to go back and forth to pick them up and bring them. But maybe there's a way the school can help with that too.
Right.
Yeah. Or there's a small fee.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair.
I think that's something from the education side that's doable. It's easy enough to come up with a plan to help work together on that.
Yeah.
For families. Yeah.
Right. And maybe it's right that like we kind of say like we'll have staff available at X time, which is like when the majority of the kiddos come over, but that
Right.
anybody who's kind of on a different schedule, like the school's gonna have to, maybe they have to have a staff member that walks them over.
Right, exactly, especially if there's like a para or something like that, and,
Right.
You know, if we
That can
maybe
bring
do the
them.
main times and they do
Yeah.
the in-between times,
Yeah.
if they can.
yeah,
Right. That's something that we can kind of work through in the planning phase for sure.
yeah.
Okay, good call. Okay. The next item on the agenda is to review the results that we've gotten so far from the youth programming survey. Thank you to Jamie for your help in getting that crafted, and Nicole for fine tuning it and figuring out the logistics of sending it out so that we could get it out. I know that the school was able to send it out. We posted it in all of the town Facebook groups, and then there's also a link to it that will go out in the Town Times when that comes out next, which isn't going to be until the very early part of August. But we wanted to make sure that we put it out in as many places as possible to try to maximize the input that we got. How is it going so far?
We have 127 responses, so I feel it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Yeah, and I think between you and I, there were maybe 60, so we've gotten a decent amount in the
Yeah.
last few days.
Yeah, it looks like there's a decent amount of people that want before and after care. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like a split between 7 and 7:30.
I know, so
Yeah.
that's gonna be a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
So we have about 30 yeses for that they would use before care, 29 maybes. We have 22 that want 7 AM, 33 that said 7:30, 8 that said 7. Aftercare, we have 59 that said yes, 22 that said maybe.
It's interesting because the amount of people that said yes, no, and maybe, or like if that said yes and maybe, there's actually more that put in times that they would need.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
Because
I
you couldn't say no. I said no to before care, but then I had to say whether I would need 7:30 or 8. So I
that wasn't
answered
an
that.
optional one, it was like a have to answer?
Yes, right.
So that's why I figured some of these are probably false.
We could
Right,
probably
that
go
second
in there and
question.
we could go in there and make it so that they don't have to be answered. I don't think that, I thought that on mine I put they didn't have to be required, but we could go in there, we can fix that and just take it off that it's not, like number
You know
one.
what's funny though? I think so I filled it out twice, 2 children.
Yeah.
So I decided to do it twice. The first time I filled it out, I think I did have to put an answer, but the second link was the one that came through BCS, and I don't think I had to put an answer for the time there.
I made the changes, that's probably why.
Okay.
Because I made the changes to the one for BCS.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Because remember,
that
it
might be-
wasn't
Okay.
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
that might be what it was, because I was gonna say
Oh, yeah,
originally,
you can only
right, you
put
could only put
one
one choice
Yeah.
for the last question,
Yeah.
and now you can put multiple choices for the last question. So that makes sense. So just super quick, I know you guys have the paper in front of you, and I apologize. So for before care, we had 30 yeses, 29 maybes,
Yes.
and 22 wanted 7 o'clock, 33 wanted 7:30, and how many people wanted 8?
7.
7.
7. Okay. And then for aftercare, it was 59 yeses and 22 maybes.
Yes.
Yes.
And was there a big difference between how many people wanted like 5? I think, what were the choices? 5, 5:30, and 6?
It was 4:30, 5, 5:30, and 6. The biggest was actually needing it till 6, which was 35. And then then it was 25 at 5:30, 15 at 5, and 10 at 4:30. So the biggest was the 5, like between like 5:30 and 6.
6. Yep. Okay. Well, that's
And then
good to know.
47 needed it 5 days a week.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
a huge number.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it was 13, 14, 13.
What was 13?
2 days, 3 days, 4 days.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And then if we move down to the enrichment programs, it seems like baking and arts and crafts were like the huge top sellers at 82 for baking and 72 for arts and crafts. I mean, and everything else was like, nothing was below 30, which is nice too. And then there's 54 for Lego Club.
Fitness got a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, music.
Martial arts had 43, volleyball had 40, gaming had 28, fitness had 48, music 51, chess 34, robotics 42, homework, help and tutoring is 43. That's a nice one, you
That's
know.
interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting to think. I don't think parents want to do it at home and fight with kids.
Yeah.
I would totally be all about homework.
Well, that's the first thing I said to you, remember?
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if some of the parents who answered that are the ones that
Yeah,
saw the
yeah.
homework room and they're
Yeah.
like, ooh, yeah,
because listen, that's the biggest battle sometimes at home, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, you know,
they're done already.
yeah.
Correct. Right. Okay. I mean, those are fantastic results so far, especially because it hasn't even been out for that long. So clearly people hopped right on it, which is fantastic. What, Nicole, what are your thoughts? I heard you say like the 7 o'clock will be, 7's early, obviously, because you're talking about somebody having to be there a little bit before 7 too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're gonna have to start looking and seeing who we can, I mean, we gotta put it out there.
Mhm.
I think
Right.
it's gonna have to unfortunately be, unfortunately for us,
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
to be 7, but it might be easier to find someone, cause people might not wanna come just for an hour of pay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They might wanna make it
Yeah.
worth their while to
Right.
get a little bit more pay.
Right.
What time, and I'm a terrible parent for knowing this. I mean, I just put my kids on the bus at 8:15 and then they go. But what time does BCS officially start? Do they offload
Is
at
it
8:30? So like,
Is it 8:30 or 8:34, something like that?
Yes,
I mean, like,
I think the teachers have to be there by 8:25, cause
say,
that's gonna be the issue, if I get someone from over there's gonna be a time where I'd have to figure out, like, someone
can't
might
be
have to
both.
come into the room. And there's meetings on Wednesday, so they have to be there even earlier, so that's things that I have to figure out.
sometimes you can get, like, if you have a college kid too, like, that's going for their classes, or if there's a high school kid that doesn't have a first period class, they might
Right.
get, because the second period starts at 8:30, like, sometimes you might have something like that you might be able to get.
I wanna
Yeah.
at least have one consistent person.
Right, yeah.
you know?
agreed. I wonder, Nicole, though, if like one of the para educators maybe would be interested in doing it, or if there's, like even potentially, like I don't know exactly who staffed it last year when the school ran it,
Yeah,
but
I
maybe.
talked to Kay a little bit about that the other day, so I told her, I think she's away this week, so I said, when you get back, we just talk, so I can, see who I could reach out to discuss potential.
Okay.
candidates.
How about any retired teachers?
Yeah, that's a good one too, Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking too, right? If we did like 6:45 to 8:45, Nicole, to your point about somebody not wanting to come in for like an hour's worth of work, right? Like it might not be worth it to them. If drop off at the school is somewhere in the 8:30 neighborhood, and then the person, walks back over to the, it is 8:40?
8:40 to 3:10.
Yeah,
But I think they start,
Okay.
I feel like they start taking them at 8:30
they
though.
probably take them at 8:30.
I feel like
I
that's
think so too. I was gonna say my recollection from the past was that it was a little bit before that like the kids offloaded. So with the assumption that it's like 8:30 that they walk in, then that gives the person time to like come back to the annex and like kind of do a quick like tidying up before leaving for the day.
Yeah, and that would be perfect for a retired teacher because,
Yeah.
the hour a day, basically, they're not going over their pension or IRS,
Right.
thresholds for taxation. So,
Right.
yeah,
That
that
is
would be nice.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nicole, depending how your conversation with Kay goes, do we want to do like a posting for someone for like the morning care program so that we can kind of get it out on the town website?
Yeah, we want to do a posting for before and after. I do have a few potential candidates already for after. And I
Okay.
know a few people that said they wanted to come in for interviews, but I would like to post just to kind of,
Yeah.
especially for the mornings, because I think they're gonna
Right.
be.
And there used to be, so just because I utilize morning care, there used to be kids that would come here, and honestly, they came if it opened at 7:30, they were pulling up at 7:30. So, but,
That can
it
be
was college,
problematic.
like, it was kids that were in college, so they were, like, they had classes in the afternoon, so they were getting like an hour and a half, whatever I don't know what their pay was, but like, they were getting that hour and a half of pay too, and were coming in here, and then they also worked like in the afternoon piece too. So you never know who you're gonna get, like, it could be retired teachers, it could be anyone in the community whose kids maybe are back at school and kind of wants to like help out, or whoever, right? Someone that just kind of wants
Maybe
to.
subs don't have to be there at 8:25, right?
Yeah, yeah, so you might be actually able to find,
Yeah, and I think
people.
it would make sense, honestly, to post it as two separate positions, right? Like a before care and like an after care.
Absolutely.
Because you may have somebody who is only available to do the morning and not the
Right,
afternoon.
right.
But yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So we're gonna look to create, Nicole, you're gonna look to create some sort of a posting for that position.
Yeah. How many kids are
Okay.
in that school? Does anyone know?
There used to be 444, but I don't know how many are in there now.
Between 3
Yeah,
and
I
400.
haven't heard like their enrollment yet for the fall.
Yeah.
They canceled the July Board of Ed meeting, I believe. But it is in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
300 to 400?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. I think it's like just over like
Yeah.
425, 450, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I'm just trying to judge for the survey, like,
Right.
Yeah.
and I know a lot of times at the J, when we sent these surveys out, we would get huge numbers for certain things, and then when we did it, people wouldn't sign up.
I also like wonder, like, when you look at like how many people like are utilizing camp right now too, and then there's a lot of people that have their kids at other camps because of like the late sign up, like for our
Yeah.
camp, that are going to need something that, and then let's be honest, people are just bad at filling out surveys, right? Like they really are. Like when we do surveys at the high school, there's 1,200 kids in the high school, and our numbers for our surveys are so low. Even with parents, like
Yeah,
I'm
they're
guilty of it at
notoriously
BCS.
low.
I hardly ever do the surveys that BCS fills out, and like here I am, like that same person saying it. So sometimes I think people who are really nervous about it, like I jumped on it, was like, I'm on the commission, but I was like, let me do this right away because I know like I'm gonna need this. Like I think sometimes people are just like.
Well, the only good thing is though, before when that last question wasn't multiple choice.
Yeah.
People actually took the time to go and fill out the classes, that's where I think you're more apt to, oh, they really want that.
Yeah,
So.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I mean,
So-
to me, 22 is an interesting number though, for that need that 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that's like way more, like if you do 70 and 30, like that's a lot more kids that have been there in the past. And I think it's because that 7 to 7:30 window is so hard to find places to find care for kids.
Right. Yeah, I think it opens up for a lot of people who have to be in earlier or like work at a high school.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we're going with 7 a.m. for the before care start. And I mean, honestly, if you ended up, even if you ended up with just the 30 yeses, that would be huge.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think before care numbers were in like the 20 or 25 range before. I don't think it was much more than that from what we had heard.
Right.
And I mean, that's a significant number for aftercare potentially too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had
So-
40 at the J, so.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And this will be even more. And it sounds like clearly till 6 o'clock based off of the survey results too.
Yeah.
And I know from the past, like there were not very many kids there till 6, but I think it's that window, that buffer between 5:30 and 6 that buys people a couple of extra minutes just in case, if they get out of work at 5 and God forbid they hit traffic or something coming in.
Right.
So that's good. Okay. Thank you for that update. And good to know about the programming. I'm assuming, Nicole, that you're thinking that the game plan will be get before and after care up and running, and then we'll think about like other programming.
No, I'm gonna
Okay,
do some
crazy girl.
programming too. I already have it
Like,
I have 2 things already lined up, so
Nice.
I'm gonna
okay,
keep going with it.
all right. What
Actually, some
what
will be
do you have lined up?
I have baking, I have, mad scientists.
Oh,
I'm gonna
cool.
be doing something with them.
that's cool.
I was supposed to meet with a sports guy today, but he didn't show up.
So maybe he's a no.
No, maybe I have the wrong day though. I have to check my phone. That could be possible, but I swear I made it today because I knew I was gonna be late.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's called me about 10 times, so he's definitely
Oh,
eager.
he's definitely interested. Okay.
I've also talked to a guy that does some really cool stuff with like financing with kids, like
Oh.
how to build your own business and how to do financing and chess
That's
and stuff
cool.
like that, so, I mean, obviously I have to get the pricing from them.
More my two
Yep.
sons need rather than
Right.
sports.
I also talked to Rec Den, which I have to call back because we're supposed to do something with them for camp, about doing music stuff with us throughout the
Okay.
year, and maybe music lessons. So I'm
That's great.
working with them on that, and then, Kay said she had a fitness person I'm potentially gonna talk to, and someone else gave me another fitness person to talk to for the
Okay.
kids.
Nice.
And then what else?
Nicole, are these all like after school sign up for a 10-week or 8-week program, that kind of thing, or?
Yeah, probably like 4 to 6 weeks, and we'll
Okay.
do different things each time.
If you could ever find like someone that's willing to do like conditioning for kids, you know, like, cause sometimes there's like a window of like kids that like to do conditioning based stuff, but you can't go to like a gym until you're like 11, 12,
Yeah, that's what
like,
I'm looking for.
yeah, so that would be awesome,
And someone
cause
said
I know
someone,
like
a
that's like
parent just
something.
got her license, or got something with
Yeah.
that.
Cause that, yeah, cause it's like, I know like Drew wants to go to a gym, but like he went to CrossFit Kids for a while, but there's that 11 age gap, you know, so that's cool to do that, like kind of like that plyo stuff for kids is really
Yeah,
nice.
Would you ever, I know staffing becomes an issue, but would you ever offer things in the evenings or weekends?
yeah, of course, because some parents can't do it during
Yeah,
the week,
Right.
yeah,
so.
yeah, exactly, like sometimes it might be like a 7 time or on the weekend.
Right,
Eventually, you know, I would like to do some things on Saturday, even for like the younger, like the mommy and me classes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right.
And then we'll see what else we can get on the weekends.
yeah, I mean,
Well,
that's kind of like a,
correct me if I'm wrong too, right? But if we're like subcontracting with, you know, like a provider, like somebody who comes in to do like a music mommy and me class, right? Like then they can be there for the bulk of the time. Hopefully we could get to the point where, but I don't know if you would always have to have, are you thinking, Nicole, that you or Mike would always be on site? You'd probably have to be for like unlocking the building, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
But
someone
they
would
would
have to
have
be,
liability
eventually.
insurance, so that would help.
yeah,
Right.
But yeah,
exactly.
you know, if I
logistically.
could build it like we had originally said in the beginning, where we'd have that third person, that was gonna kind of be their responsibility.
Right.
So like with stuff like that.
Yeah,
Right. Some of the kind of odd hour programming pieces.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe that's something too when we kind of come together in August to have a little bit of that budgetary conversation. Maybe that's something that we look at then too,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and hopefully at that point we can see if it's feasible. We should have better numbers too by then about like how many kids are going to take part in before and after care
right,
Yes.
and know kind of where we are financially standing.
right.
Okay. Any other discussion about the youth programming survey? Okay.
Do you
The
think we should
next
keep like
agenda.
sharing it though, hold on one second. Do you think we should kind of like share it every couple days, like on social media at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to continue to post it. I don't mind to do
I
that.
keep it open for, yeah.
Yeah. When do we want to close it by? I feel like we discussed it at our last meeting.
I thought it was mid-July, but I think with the startup of camp,
Yeah.
it got like a little later, so maybe like,
We did say mid-July.
maybe we close it the 31st of July, I don't know, like, you think that's?
Nicole, when do you want to open registration for before and after care?
I already wanted to do that, but I know it's gonna take me time. It's probably gonna take, I wanna realistically say a week, but I wanna say a week, but I don't know if that's being realistic, especially with Carnival week this week, and then
Right.
next week, I might be able to get a little bit done.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I know the work with MyRec is hard.
The biggest part is gonna be figuring out how to structure on MyRec.
Oh, that's right.
That's the biggest part.
Yeah.
Because, we structured camp so that you couldn't choose 2 days or 3 days.
Right.
And then is it gonna be monthly or yearly or quarterly?
Yeah.
Cause
I'm wondering if we shouldn't
I don't wanna have to
overcomplicate it and
every
just do
month.
monthly for now, like, I don't know, you know what I mean, like, what, like, if we're just trying to get it, like, started back up, like, is it too much to try and put all these, because that was the one thing about my rec that was confusing with with that before and after care last year, was they were, and it was confusing for years before that, but it was so confusing to go in there and have to like click they had us like click every little thing, like when we were doing aftercare last year, and it got to be a lot, so I can imagine how much of a pain that was to build it, if like it was a pain to go in there and be like, did I do it, did I, do it right? And then remembering like you had to pay, like you had to sign up like the week before for what the date, like, which I think is so confusing, so I think if you say like, if you do like the monthly piece of things, it's kind of a little bit easier.
I would like to do some kind of incentive if you sign up for a year in advance, or 6 months in advance, or quarterly in advance, because it will make our lives easier
Yeah,
if we did that.
I was just thinking quarterly or for the half of the year or something like that.
sign up, not paying though, right? Because are you saying?
Right.
Then pay monthly
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, oh yeah, no, then that makes sense. I was thinking it was like asking people to pay for the year when things could kind of.
And I think MyRec just put in some kind of, I have to see if, obviously our financial part is compatible with it, but they just put in some kind of system where you can, I think,
You think it would be
easier to pay.
You'd think it would just be easier to do. And like the one thing that, can we see if MyRec can do it? I don't know if they can. I hate paying credit card fees on these things. And like, I like that, like My Payments Plus has the ability, I think it has the ability to put your bank account in there, and then you don't pay, or at least for my son's hockey, maybe it's my son's hockey I'm thinking about. If I pay by a debit card, there's like a 3% charge. If I pay by bank account, there's no charge, and no, My Payments Plus doesn't do it, because I always pay when I can't stand it, because I'm paying like $8 like more when I'm like, just take it directly from my bank account and there's no fees for us. I don't know if my rec has that option in there, but otherwise I'm like, can I just like come pay in cash?
I don't think it does.
Because it was just like, I hate paying cash.
I think that's why I always paid for Parks and Rec camp by check.
A lot of people
ended up being a huge problem, but it was because I mean, the first year or two, there was no MyRec, but then it was like, I'm not gonna pay the extra fee. So I was
You know what it was too? The old Park and Rec payment system before they moved to MyRec, when it was on whatever it was, like through Webster Bank, there, if you linked it to your bank account, there were no.
Now
the town, I think, does still use that, but I don't know, Nicole, then like, I feel like that adds a whole other layer of like bookkeeping to check to make sure that like they got, like that got paid, and then like the money gets transferred to the appropriate account. So I don't know if we want to look at that.
Yeah, I wonder if MyRec has that, like, does MyRec have the option to enter your bank account in there?
All right, maybe I was gonna say that maybe that's something that we could look into.
Yeah.
So for purposes of the survey, it literally I've just posted it yesterday, I think, on Facebook, which I believe means that the school sent it either yesterday or Monday.
Yesterday.
So maybe on Monday we post it one more time, like just post it one more time on Monday to just say like be done by the 31st maybe?
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe we close it like, it's open for a week. People who are gonna answer it are gonna answer it. So I'm happy to share it again, like even on Friday maybe and Monday, just to be a little bit obnoxious and make sure that like people, it's out there. I mean, it sounds like regardless, we kind of know what we're doing based off of the input. It's not like there were only 2 people who said 7 o'clock, right? Like there were
maybe Friday you just do a last call, maybe Friday you just post a last call and it's like, and it's done, and you're right, like the information's already here, we have to, like, not have to, like we already know, people want before, people want after.
right,
and we know
just more for the class purposes of how, what are gonna be the top 5 classes that we wanna get going right away.
Yep. Okay. So why don't I do this? I'll post it again on Friday and just say, like, hey, we're planning on going with a 7 o'clock start, a 6 o'clock end time, registration opening soon. And then I can just say, like, we're really looking for input now in the, into the enrichment type of classes. So if people want to provide answers to those, that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. I can totally do that.
After we close it, do we want to share with the town, like kind of like what just the choice, with it, not all like the before and after care piece, because we already had that, but like like this is like the top 5 like these are the top interests like that people expressed here, I don't know. Just so that they see it.
We could also include that in the minutes
Of
either this meeting or the next one.
Yeah, just so that they have access to see like, hey, like this is what, people were looking for their kids.
Yeah. Is there, I'm assuming that there's some sort of like printout that you guys are all looking at that looks lovely. I see circles. That's the only thing I can really make out. So maybe what we could do if we close the survey on, even if we close it on Monday, the 28th, right? It's been out for a week at that point.
Yeah.
If we close it on the 28th and then Nicole, if you want to send me like a screenshot of that info.
Sure.
After the 28th, and yeah, I mean, I'm happy to post that. I think, the more transparent we are, since that seems to be the new buzzword, the more transparent we are about everything, the better. So we can just kind of publish those results right out there.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jamie, for that. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. Yeah, I just sent it to her, just so you guys know.
Well, I enjoy that it tells you the average time that people took to answer the question.
I'm telling you, this Microsoft, like, it's a whole new survey way of doing things.
Cool.
Craziness. So yeah, Nicole, if that works for you at some point next week, and then we can just like kind of post the final results.
Sure.
Okay. Cool beans. Okay. So that kind of closes 5. I know we bled a little bit into 6 in the before and after care program because those 2 pieces were so intricate, like kind of tightly woven together. But Nicole, have you been able to give any thought to pricing? And it's okay if the answer is not yet.
I know I definitely have something jotted down downstairs, but I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but I was going it was pretty much based off of what you guys did.
For the budget.
Budgetary wise, so, obviously we were trying to get that grant, but I don't know if we did, so I can't really base any pricing off, considering that.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about the grant, and I don't know if it's even still something that's viable, given some of like the federal government things that have come out with funding stuff. So I wonder if like the state is even moving it forward.
What was the grant?
That would really.
The state of Connecticut had a grant that schools and towns were eligible to apply for, and the neat part about it was that they were really looking to do like more small towns, and it was to help fund before and after care. If I'm remembering correctly, wasn't it like up to $200,000, Nicole?
Yes. Yeah.
It was definitely going to be a lot, so it was the sort of thing I think that would have made sense very much to partner with the school, and Nicole had worked very closely with Kay. because you have to track like all sorts of attendance data. And I want to say, again, if memory serves, the meeting was a long time ago. You had to have like 75% of kids attending like every day that the program was open or something like that.
Like 4 days,
Like,
I think, 5.
right.
Yeah.
And you had to also offer like 8 to 10 hours a week of care. It was a pretty substantial amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was also a ton of money, which would have been fantastic.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we'll hear something. It just closed at the end of June, but I worry a little bit just because of some of the other funding cuts that have come through for schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we can see. Maybe when Kay's back next week.
Yeah, well, if I see Cheryl, I'll ask Cheryl. I think I did ask Cheryl last week and she said, I think last time they did something similar, they didn't find out till March. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's quite a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll stick then with whatever kind of the original pricing was. And then Nicole, the other thing too was just we had talked about like the add-on pricing for like the early release days from school,
Yeah.
those things too.
I think that was all in the budget too.
Yeah. Okay.
And obviously, we might have to increase a little bit, just because we wanna make sure staffing wise, we're good for those early birds.
Absolutely.
And then
Yeah, I was
vacation.
gonna say, and if we end up with that many kids, in like the before care program, right, you'll need, you could potentially have 60 kids, so you would need a ton of staff.
Yeah.
That is a lot of staff.
Anyone looking for a part-time job on the committee?
Pat, you feel like helping out me?
Retired? Retired?
She's like, I'm enjoying my
I
vacation.
did hear
right
Pat
now."
say retired. Pat did say retired.
Yeah, Pat
Yeah.
might be busy in the future though.
Yeah.
She might be a little busy in the future though.
Yes, hopefully she will be.
Um, I think that the best thing to do is to start with like the sign up too, to see exactly how many do we really have, to kind of know, like, what are we looking at? Are people really gonna commit to like, are they thinking I need 2 days a week of like early care and it's only gonna be like $20 because before last year was included, right? So are people gonna, so that also could be a thing too. But then again, we could have we could have those 22 kids that need that 7 to 7:30 time because they're teachers' kids who are like, wow, this is awesome, now I don't have to like run around like a chicken with my head cut off like I had to last year.
Right.
But, and don't have to rely on neighbors or whatever, and, maybe then don't need the aftercare piece because they can get into work earlier
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Because that would help, that definitely helps people too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Obviously, once I get the financials together, I wanna share them with you before I post them. But I would like to start messing around with it if I have time tomorrow, just the setup part of it. And get the financial part of it together, so then next week I could really concentrate on getting it up and going.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know it takes MyRec like a couple of days to turn things around. Do you want to shoot to have it open even for August like 8th? Is that too soon, too late?
I would like it sooner, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, August 1st, I think might be realistic. It doesn't take that long for my rec to turn it around. It's me legit getting it in, and then I can make it public immediately.
Okay.
It's just, I need to figure out how I wanna set it up to make sense, and make sense for the parents, and make sense for us.
Right. I mean, I think from a staffing purpose, and especially like just thinking about how last year it was crazy where you had to go in kind of like week by week to do it. maybe doing it by month would make sense, so that like people have to sign up for September by the end of August or by whatever day you close it, August 15th or something like that.
I would say mid-August for that first month, so you know what you're, yeah.
Right, if you
Yes,
close it,
so in reality, you're right.
You had to do it by the month, right? You were signed up for the month.
No, that's why I definitely think you have to commit to like.
agreed.
Cause that week, like, I always wonder too, I'm like, how are they figuring out who they have as staff and like, it left.
I think we all know the answer to that, Jamie.
I was like,
We
how
do.
I'm like, how did this, well, no, like when Nick and Jen did it though, they were figuring out
They were
stuff.
scrambling probably, right, to try to get it. Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine, so, and I didn't like it as a parent, because I was like, did I sign up, did I not sign up, did I hit the deadline, did I not hit the deadline, it just did not, it was not.
Right.
So next year, I mean, I know this is going back to camp, but next year for camp too, like, it's like, you can't, I'm getting a lot of emails like on a Friday night saying, hey, can I sign up for Monday morning? And if you've already, like, sometimes I don't see it before I leave,
Yeah.
so then Monday morning, I'm like, oh, no, like, but if, especially for a new person, I don't think they realize what it takes to get
The
your
paperwork and stuff, right?
Right, for someone that's there,
Yeah.
if I see it before I leave, it's not a deal,
Right.
or if they want, but I don't think parents realize like, okay, I have to make sure there's ratio, and I have to make sure this is,
Right.
for certain grades, it's not an issue, but for the little kids, I wouldn't be able to take more kids on certain days because we wouldn't be in ratio.
I'm guilty of doing it 2 weeks before though.
2 weeks is
Which is,
fine,
yeah.
just not the Friday.
No, I agree.
before
I can't
Monday.
imagine doing it the Friday before and being like, do I have care on Monday or like not? Like, I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
I think we put something in, like, emergencies arise because before and after care, I could see that happening too. Emergencies arise, but like, you have to almost be like, I think that if there has to almost be like a pre-registration in a sense, like, you can't do like.
You have to already have a file for your kid, basic information and.
I mean, for the emergency situation, if they plan to, as I believe Nicole said, Friday they register and she doesn't see it, because she's already out of office, maybe a contact number, like contact Nicole first.
On Monday morning, you mean?
Yeah, or, whatever, a Friday.
It's just, no.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the rule just has to be like no drop-ins, right? Like because of the ratio requirements, right? There's no drop-ins.
Definitely no drop-ins, but
Right,
I mean,
and
what happens if someone has an emergency though? We say no?
I mean, I think
then, maybe you can reach out to Nicole, but you can't guarantee.
Right, you're not
Anything that's said
You don't hear anything back.
How about we put something like this in there too? We understand, like, or something like, we understand emergencies arise, but any like request after 3 PM
On Friday.
on any day cannot be accommodated for the next day, may not be able to be accommodated for the next day because due to staffing ratios, because I think they're like, yes, emergencies like arise, but like if I think you need time to be able to see if you can get staff, because what if it's I'm just saying, like, what if it's a family of 4 and they're all 3rd grade and below, and that's your big group or something, like, somehow, I'm just like throwing this out there in my head, I think it's nice to have, like, be able to accommodate people when you can, but I think any request after this time,
Which is why I think it's better to write the policy, like, you reach out to Nicole if you don't hear back.
Because we don't want people thinking that they can reach out to Nicole anytime and she's checking her email 24/7. I'm guilty of doing that in my job, and I have to get better at it, and thinking that we're gonna respond. And I think people and sometimes when I respond, I have to do my automatic response, or my response, so it doesn't get sent till 8 AM on Monday mornings, because I'm like, oh, if people are looking, they're gonna see it's a Saturday at 4 and I'm checking my email and I'm not supposed to be, and then Nicole checks her email on Saturdays at 4, so she's gonna get this and figure it out for me, and so I think that boundary has to kind of be in place too, to protect that, like, well, I emailed you and, I didn't hear anything, so I just dropped my child off, because that stuff does happen.
Right, so I think, there's
Nicole,
go ahead, Pat.
Nicole, What is the duration that's needed to calculate the ratio? Does it take a couple days? Because, we could also indicate too, if that's the case, let's say it takes 2 days for Nicole and her team to calculate the ratio and to say, for emergency purposes, we need 2 days in advance to plan for adequate staffing and state that.
I mean, it also depends on the program, like camp, I kind of know each week what the numbers are. So I know how much staff I need.
Right.
And it may be like kindergarten through fourth, I have 24 kids and I have 3 staff, so I know I can't take any more in
Right.
there.
So I think like
But
requesting, like
how
putting
long
in a
does it take you to
policy,
plan that or know those numbers?
So
like
Pat, my
late.
guess is that it's a little bit fluid because,
Okay,
right, like one day you have somebody who calls out sick, or somebody's got a planned vacation and they're not going to be there, so it's probably a little bit fluid. I wonder if it makes sense to have a policy of like there's no drop-ins, right? We can't just accept you at the door.
Right.
And then
There's
also
no
just
one-day signups. Like,
No
it's
one-day
not,
signups, yeah.
no, like I got a bunch of people that just wanna sign up for one day and it's like, wait a second, do you realize all the paperwork you have to do for one day?
And I think this is the policy piece that Emily and like Jen were saying, it's like, I think we put into, like, we put in, when we put the book together, like you did for camp, it's like, no drop-ins, no, one day options are not gonna be available. And that late requests to change schedules may not be able to be accommodated.
Right.
And that
I
is
think I was gonna
clearly
say,
there
I
on the
think it could say, right, something like late registrations, will be accommodated when staffing allows. The director must be contacted first.
Mhm.
And then I think, right, like it's kind of the standard rule of like during the business week, we'll respond to emails and phone calls within 24 hours. And so if you call Thursday at 4:30 expecting a Friday morning, you may not hear back in time. So you have to plan a little bit. I mean,
And
that's
then,
the way the
you
world
could also,
works.
and you could also add in the policy, do not drop off your child without prior authorization.
I haven't had that happen, thank you.
Correct. Right, thank
Just
God.
make that clear, because I know
Right.
last year under the old, Park and Rec Commission, they were allowing drop-ins. That's what I
They
understood.
used to allow for drop-ins.
Yes. And we want to
Here's a
make sure
question I
that they're
have.
not in that frame of mind this year. Yeah.
Right, here's a question I have, this is a random systems question, and maybe it won't matter if we're doing by monthly. A parent can't go on, like, we're gonna shut down, like, are we gonna shut down, like, say, August 20th, that's just a day, that's when the cutoff is for the month of September signups, because what if a parent goes in and checks off 2 days and pays it on September 1st, and says, well, I already paid and here without getting confirmation from you that was done.
I think it would have to be shut off kind of like we did for summer camp.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, perfect.
And Nicole, you would just have to find out from MyRec, like, can they shut it off? Like, let's say if we use the 15th of the month as an arbitrary number, and I don't, Nicole, you'll have to decide what works best.
Yeah.
But, like if you use the 15th of the month, so like by August 15th, you have to register for September. By September 15th, you have to register for October. And then after that, it's shut. And then they have to make direct contact with Nicole.
Right.
In order for her to reopen it like she did for summer camp, which is more work on the back end for you, Nicole. But that's where, and I know we've talked a little bit about it, like, do we also kind of need to talk about like an admin assistant who does some of just this like clerical paperworky stuff?
Yeah, I mean, that's a thing we have to decide, like, are we gonna, originally we had said maybe getting a third person, or do we get someone that's an admin instead?
Do you get someone who could do both?
Yeah, or someone that
Like,
can do both.
like
Cause there's also things in this town, I mean, it's off subject, that Park and Rec, I guess, used to do or did, and that other departments are doing now, that now don't wanna do it anymore, so there's gonna be more stuff that we have to take on.
Like rentals of space.
Right, rentals, parking.
Right.
things for
Right.
the lake and stuff
Right.
like that, so it
Oh,
may be
yep.
Yeah.
to do.
Right, and those are all things, right, that potentially like an admin assistant could assist with or could handle, right?
Right.
So
Right.
And
something
that's an
to think
interesting
through.
budget conception for the other departments too, right? Just
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
what is
Yep.
Mike's title? Like youth programs coordinator?
yeah.
So, I'm not thinking of the budget at all, but it would make sense to have you as the director and then a youth programs coordinator and then a facilities programs coordinator or not programs, but all the other things that's
Yeah.
not programming,
Right.
but is the work of Parks and Rec,
Right.
who reports to you and is a whole
Administrative coordinator?
staff, but not even just admin, I mean,
No,
sort of an
yeah.
expert in that stuff.
Yeah.
in the-
Yeah,
Cause there are people
Do we
that can
have
do
a-
all these, you know, all
Mhm.
these different roles, it's kind of like, you know, a jack of all trades in some ways, like, some of it will be clerical, some of it will be helping to
Arranging
navigate,
or
yeah,
events or,
Yeah. yeah.
Nicole, do we have a list of the potential responsibilities that Park and Rec will overall control or perform?
well, I'm
Maybe
finding
get a
out new
list so
things,
we could understand the scope of this.
I'm finding new things every day, so.
Okay.
And also, you know, I was able to pull some files that I found, old files, from the past, so I was able to pull some of those today just to kind of get ideas and see what was going on and things that I didn't know about. So,
I mean, it sounds like too, the first selectman who, like Sal, who's taking over now, and then whoever gets voted in, really needs to look at all of these departments within this town, because this is like where I do feel bad, you know, for you, it's like, we're back to like day one when we sat in front, like, with Paula and Vin, and we're like, what does Parks and Rec do? And it was the same way you're feeling right now is the same thing that we all got, like, it was like, well, what is it? And we heard the things, well, we've taken on this and we've taken on that, and it's like, okay, but like, what is, like, where do things fall? And where should they fall, and are they working right now, and like, what's happening? And I think that's kind of like a Sal.
right, I
thing.
think that's a bigger system like reorganization for town
Yeah.
hall. But Nicole,
Yeah,
we have a document that the commission created. It was in one of our very, very early meetings before we created the posting for your position, of all of the things that like back in the day Park and Rec was in charge of, which included all of the facilities rentals, you know, kind of like ordering sand for the beach and making sure that like the playgrounds were okay and stuff like that. I can find that document and share it with you just so that you can kind of see the list that we had come up with, and like
that would be
Paula had
helpful.
weighed in on that.
Yeah.
I think Nick had weighed in on that.
See, but from what I'm understanding, Jen, is that, yeah, a Park and Rec orders the sand, but, you know, the Public Works should be spreading it. And
Right.
according to Public Works, that is not their responsibility. That falls under Park and Rec. So, Nicole, I like to see a list of the actual activities that the Park and Rec have been performing. That,
do they
you
ever
know,
have
is
leadership meetings
just to get an idea.
Do they ever have leadership meetings here? Like, you're a director, there's director of public works, there's director of like all the heads of whatever department here. Do they ever have meetings? Well, maybe like somebody should suggest that to Sal, because you guys all need to be, because I agree with you. I think that should be public works with the sand and spreading it and all this stuff. That's what they have, a lot of manpower to be able to do this kind of stuff. Like, to me, that's what
But did Park and Rec used to actually spread the sand themselves? Is anybody actually saying that did happen?
I don't know.
I was given that as an example,
because I
Jen,
don't
because
believe
there's
that
been
actually
situations
happened.
that, you know, that I've been helping, assisting, you know, sprucing up the annex, and Public Works is telling me it's not their job, and I'm like, yes, it is, and you'll get
Correct.
it done today. I mean,
Yeah.
it's unfair that we got to kind of push that.
Right.
Right.
And so there has to be a clear boundary. Each department needs to understand what they are responsible for.
Right.
Because
I do think
Nicole's running ragged here.
Right. I do think that, yes, there have been some bumps in the road with like the facilities piece as we've refurbished and things with the annex, but I don't think in the past, I think that like the park and rec director ordered the sand and then it was somebody else that actually like did the spreading of it. But I agree. I mean, I think, right, big picture organization pieces, there are some efficiencies that should probably be looked at in the town hall as well.
Yeah, and I'd like to see a list from Nicole. I'd like to see a list from Nicole indicating where she believes that it's not the Park and Rec's responsibility to perform these tasks, but the performing that. I like to see that.
Right.
Just have an understanding.
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
I do wanna say that the public works guys have, stepped in when
Good.
needed.
Okay.
Like they just put in, the tether ball for us, they did lay down the mulch. They're working with us, like with the lawn cutting when we have to take things down and when we have to put things up. So the relationship there has been very good with Public Works.
Has
Okay,
the cleaning of the annex, we're a little bit off topic. Cleaning of the annex building itself improved at all?
Yeah, Devon's been really good.
Okay,
Good.
good. I'm glad to hear that. Okay.
That's good news.
All right, so I'll add that, Pat, for our August agenda, is just to kind of talk through some of the roles and responsibilities. Nicole, I'll share with you that document that we originally created, and then it sounds like you're unearthing some old documents too that might be helpful in refining that list or, you know, editing it.
Yeah.
And I do think, right, it makes sense for the town as an organization to think about those department leader meetings. And hopefully that's something that either Sal or his predecessor, if one is elected, will look into doing, to look at the efficiencies across departments. That would be great too. Okay, so we're going to shoot to get before and after care registration open somewhere in the neighborhood of August 1st. That's going to be the goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Anything else for before and after care? Okay. So the next thing that I put on there was just a discussion about adult programming. So we had talked last month when we put together this youth programming survey about trying to do something similar for adult programming. We all also got an email from Craig, who is not here tonight, about like exploring the possibility of a disc golf course in town, and I will put that on our August agenda. But I think that begs like a much bigger question about like what are the interests in the town for something like that, and you know, kind of what are we looking for adult programming based on the community needs and interests. So I'm wondering if we want to try to put together some sort of a like kind of adult programming survey. And if it feels like it's too much to push out right now, I mean, we could wait and do it at our August meeting.
And I think once, I don't know if it's the Economic Development Commission or a different one, but once we're starting to talk about making physical changes to the town, we have to get a lot more people involved than the Parks and Rec Department.
I wholeheartedly agree, Emily.
Yeah.
Right, for the disc golf suggestion,
Yeah,
which I think is an awesome
Because you
suggestion.
have to figure out, like where it's gonna go, what is the interest in it, is it like 5 people, and what's the cost, are we giving a cost for 5 people, when there could be something else at this cost for a larger, like for, you know, that is a bigger interest to a lot more people,
I
you know?
almost feel like, right, like in other towns, I feel like that's something where they do like kind of a town-wide survey about like the public spaces and kind of like what is the interest for enhancement, like,
Right.
you know, do people want to see the installation of soccer fields? Do people want to see the installation of a pool? I'm being a little bit cheeky there because I don't think we'll ever see a pool in Bethany, but I'm here for it if you do.
I know I will tell you that there's people in town, again, this is more for like youth stuff again, but like lacrosse fields and access to fields for lacrosse is a huge thing. I know parents who have been, say it's like you have to give up your like, you know, your kidney to like sit there and like get anything in Bethany, you know, to be able to use. So it's like, you know, if you do disc golf, that's great. But again, that's gonna break up part of fields because you have to have open fields for that. And are we taking away an opportunity for lacrosse or soccer or some other field that some, adults wanna have, like adult soccer or something like that, that, 'cause that's a huge thing or whatever, but,
I definitely think we need to do a survey.
yeah.
Definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's step number one is a survey and get a feel of what the town is seeking, yeah.
And
I
it
mean, 'cause
feels
I
to
look at
me-
Veterans Park and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a perfect field
It-
for like soccer
Yeah.
or lacrosse. I didn't think it
Yeah.
disc golf, but
Yeah,
that's what I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity. And even back here, this field, to clean it up and
it is, and I
for it to
think,
be
I think
something.
I think people forget about Veterans Parks. I know that youth lacrosse was asking about saying how do we get access to fields that we're not going to Orange or stuff like that. So
So
I would
for
just
purposes,
advocate,
yeah, go ahead, Emily, sorry.
I just wanted to advocate for starting small,
yeah,
we're, Parks and Rec is really building from scratch almost. And so getting any adult programming would be
Yeah.
great, so can we start with some successful, kind of like the kids programming you were describing, but can we start by offering
Well, I'm gonna be
Zumba
I
honest,
and
think
yoga
a
and
needs assessment.
Agreed.
Survey is going to be huge. What
Ukulele classes.
look at
ukulele classes, I love
look at
that.
look at
Let's start with stuff that doesn't involve
Bunko-
changing the whole
Bunko
town.
parties,
But then-
Wholeheartedly agree.
stuff like that.
well, I'm
No, but
gonna be
there's things,
offering
right?
pickleball hopefully at the end
Yeah.
of August. I
Nice.
know people wanna play pickleball. And I know they've been down there playing, cause they invited me a few times.
This might be an
That's
off-topic
fun.
question, but talking about pickleball and being down there, did somebody destroy swings at Veterans Park?
Yes, they did.
If so, it was Van, okay.
Did they destroy them or did they just crack and break?
I honestly, Mike and I were trying to figure it out. It looks like they were cut,
Okay,
Mhm.
that's too bad.
or
Yeah.
someone really stood on them and really
Broke them. Okay,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
but they are
Yeah.
replaced.
Oh, that's good
Thank
that they're
you.
replaced.
That's awesome.
And we also got new basketball nets.
Yeah, because they like to rip them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully
I know
heavy.
we actually at our school installed the chain link metal basketball nets because those are much harder to
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
destroy. Okay, so I definitely agree. I think Emily, what you're saying, right, is a very, very valid point. Like installing something like that feels like a much bigger endeavor. Like I love the idea. I think it's great, but I think we need to make sure that there's interest, and then also that involves people I feel like far above at least those of us on the commission, and probably in conjunction with like the economic development committee and things like that. And I think that might look more like a townwide survey of what do we see kind of the future of these public spaces evolving into. So do we want to try to put together just a survey about what are the interests for adult programming so that we can at least get a pulse on that? Are people interested in baking or cooking classes for adults? Do they want paint nights? Are they looking for sporting events, music lessons, things like that? And then we can start to try to offer, I mean, Emily, to your point, right? Even offering one thing is more than the things that we've had recently. So I don't think we have to go insane.
Yeah, like that,
Yeah,
an
and I think
exercise
once
class might be an awesome idea for people because there's not, there's no program like that, or flowers arranging, or playing cards, or Scrabble, or.
Right, a game
There's
night.
no place to socialize. We don't have anything in town, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. Nicole, do you want help to try to, I don't know how much work, if any, it was to take the survey that Jamie put together and then transfer it to your account. Do you want help from us to create a survey? Do you want us to just come up with questions and send you questions?
I feel like I would just do two, I would almost do open-ended, almost open-ended questions. Instead of us coming up with things, it would almost be I feel like it's almost one question, what type of activities, adult activities would you be looking for? Maybe just make it that simple to start out, what would you like to see Parks and Rec offer for adults?
And nights and, which nights and weekends, or nights and.
Or nights or weekend, yeah,
what days.
Yeah.
Right, or even if it was a time frame, if during the week,
Yeah.
would you prefer the programming to be whatever, from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 or 8, just to
Yeah.
get an idea of that. I mean, that works for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like to try to do it myself,
yeah.
just because I want to learn.
If you need any
The
help, let me
program.
know.
Also because you're type A and you like to do everything by yourself, which we all
She
understand
does.
because we're all probably also that way. So totally get that. I'm here for it. Okay. Well, if you want to create something and send it to us, we can be your guinea pigs to test it to make sure all the features work. And I think, again, I don't think there's any rush for this. Like, I think if it was something that came out, at some point in August or even September, that would be great.
Right.
Yeah, and then I
Okay.
think once I get my feet wet, then we can do an overall survey to the town of where we wanna go with Park and Rec, and have goals and
Yeah.
aspirations for the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah. And I think for some of that
That should be like
stuff,
an anniversary.
Yeah.
1 year, when you've
Yeah.
been in your role for
Right.
1 year, then
Yeah.
send out something big vision like that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
that would be awesome, actually. It's a nice, like, long range goal. I also think some of that, like, bigger picture stuff, right? Going back to Emily, to your point about like economic committee and things, probably are going to have to wait until after November or even like December once we see who actually comes into office.
Yeah.
Because those, that's not something that like an interim select person is making decisions on, is my guess. So, I think we can get things kind of going in the meantime and then have some long range planning, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, because whoever comes in as the first selectman could have some visions too, that they want to help to contribute towards parks, towards Parks and Rec too.
Right. Yeah.
As long as
And I
they're-
think there's lots of towns that like we can look at who have done those kind of like bigger scale surveys and studies to see how they want to, kind of like
Wow.
reimagine some of those public spaces.
Yeah.
Okay. Last item, Fall Festival. Nicole, I put that on because I know you started to get some contact about that. What do you need from us? What can we help with that? Don't say nothing.
And I'd love to hear, what are they saying to do? Because again, we were told, when we asked about it, that it was like, Janice just like brought a bunch of stuff over, it really wasn't anything to do, like, is it now being told to you that you're supposed to coordinate this?
I'm getting all the quotes and I'm getting all the, booking a lot of the events and stuff. So that's kind of what I've been doing.
Okay, that's what, okay.
I just literally started like the last week doing it, reaching out to people, just because I haven't had the time.
In
So,
the past, has there been a committee?
yeah, there's a committee,
Oh, okay.
and now, like, next week I have a meeting. Go to
And
the
have you
committee.
been to the Bethany Fall Festival?
I have not.
I'm just like thinking of people who have run it in the past, right?
But
Like,
this is what we,
people
but this
who've
is
been
what we,
Janet runs it. Howard, no, not Janet, what the?
Janet
Janet
Brunwyn.
Brunwood.
I know there were
and,
volunteers, like there were,
there are, and Brent is,
Yes.
Brent's in the fire department, and Tony, and who else?
They also post for volunteers, because I volunteered 1 year.
Yeah, so they don't have a ton, those are the only
Yeah.
people that I think I've seen
Yeah.
at the meetings.
Yeah. Because last year when we got on the board, that was like, we were trying to figure things out, and that was one of the, like, we're like, wait, did we have to do like the fall festival
Right.
piece?
And I was gonna say, Janet did email me like back in October and was just like, hey, at some point, like, I'd love to talk to the new Park and Rec Commission about the Fall Festival. And I was like, yeah, we could totally talk about it. And then, to be honest with you, like, there were so many other things that we were trying to do. So until Nicole told me the other day that she was getting quotes for the inflatables, I honestly hadn't thought about it again.
Janet is good, the committee that they have is great.
That's
I mean,
good,
and
yeah.
she's like, I'm gonna split it up, I'm gonna give her responsibilities, and she asked me to take on a few, which, that's fine, cause the ones that she asked me to do are probably people that I wanna build relationships with, so,
Good.
cause I might wanna use them for summer camp or for our vacation programs or stuff like that, so
Okay.
I can kind of get my vibes on them and see what they do for the festival and kind of get to know them and build a relationship with them.
That's good, I think we like also wanna make sure that because you're the new person here, just in general overall, that like things aren't getting put on you, that it's like, that maybe
Correct.
haven't in the past, right?
Right.
Making sure that you're not, like, you've taken on a lot of rebuilding, and I think people also in the town and that work here need to understand, it is not, you're taking over things that were running seamlessly. You are rebuilding
Right.
programs from the ground
Yeah.
up, and so that's a little different than like status quo things, right? Like, so the time with less support in some ways too, so,
Right. I
making
mean,
sure that,
is the
that we're
timing
here.
of the Harvest Fest the best timing to do this?
Right.
Probably
Right.
not, but
Right.
we'll
Right.
figure it out.
Right. And it's okay, and I just want you to know that it is okay to say, right now, like, I don't need to take on five calls to something, like, I can handle 2, and it's okay to
Right.
say that.
Right.
And I think the commission would have your back on that one, just, because.
All day long. Or again, if there are things that you can delegate to us, we
Yeah.
can help with those pieces too. So I know from talking with you, you were getting pricing for the inflatables. What are the other pieces that you are tasked with?
Right now is like the tents and the chairs. And a lot of the entertainment, so, like the
Oh, like
face
booking,
painting.
like if there's like a balloon guy and things like that.
And
Okay.
then there's a few pieces I have to try to find new things for, so, if anyone knows a good petting zoo that might wanna do it.
There's been a petting zoo there every year, so
Yeah.
there's gotta be, somebody has to know their contact info.
No, they have somebody, yes.
I thought you were saying you have to find somebody.
I was gonna say, you can't bring it out.
Yeah, we did one year.
But yeah, I mean, they have a list of names and I've been reaching out to who they've used in the past.
Okay.
But there's like 1 or 2 slots, we need to find other things.
Okay.
I
Do you
think
need help with?
Amber that does the spring fling, I don't know what you're looking for, but Amber Durkin that runs the spring fling has
It's
connections
the
for all.
same guy. Yeah, it's the same guy because I reached out to Amber when Nicole told me that she was looking for somebody with the inflatables and stuff. And it is the same person that they've used for Fall Festival.
No, I mean, like, other things that she got too, like, I don't know if you're missing anything else, like face paint, like, you need a new face painter, or what else do they have? Music, I don't even know.
Right now, the only thing I
Right.
might not have
Because
is.
he does, I was gonna say he offers a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I got the climbing wall and the obstacles, I got all
There's a
that.
petting zoo right here.
I talked to the face. No, I left a message for the face paint person.
If you have an issue with that, Nicole, I have a person, I know a person that does excellent work. Face
Okay.
painting.
Okay,
There you go.
like they used to pay someone to do spin art, but they didn't know that Park and Rec has a spin art machine, actual legit machine. So to
That's
see if
cool.
maybe one of the staff.
You know what, you also can get high school volunteers who need hours
Yeah.
to man that, and I can connect you with Lynn Coco, and she can post it, and they need volunteers, so I think, like, we definitely
Yeah.
wanna think smarter, not harder on some of this stuff. Like, when we need things to be manned, we can ask for high school volunteers who need hours, towards
I'm
graduation.
supposed to call Lynn for something else.
Yeah. Well, she won't be there until the beginning of the school year, but until like the last week of August or whatever, 18th. No, and when do they come back? Yeah, but.
But I
can
think,
help her
right, like
navigate that
Nicole
too
was
for that.
talking about needing volunteers. So that would be a great
Yeah.
connection. Okay.
Yeah, cause I think
Yeah.
we have to do like I think we do like the cotton candy machine and something else that day.
Oh yeah, I feel like they did, if I'm remembering correctly, Paula told us last year that they did like cotton candy and like popcorn or something. Cotton candy and something
Someone did
else.
snow cones. Someone
Free
do
snow cones and popcorn.
Yeah,
Okay.
Actually, the Democrat and Republican parties do it.
okay, all right, so
We're
then,
good there.
Mm.
We're good
things to
there.
get intertwined.
Yeah, but there was some food I think that Park and Rec usually did.
Oh, really?
I
Was
thought
there?
so because last year we didn't do it because like we had just started, but she said like don't worry, I'll grab the blah blah blah. I do feel like Park and Rec used to do something. But you're right.
If
The
you're not on
Democratic
there, then
Party
we'll
does-
keep that off the list.
Right.
If we're not on there, we'll keep that off the list.
It sounds
Dave,
like you're
do you know
part
what
of
the
the
Republican
committee,
Party
you're
does?
not chair of the committee, and that's perfect.
Yeah.
What did you say?
What did you say, Jen?
She's asking Dave,
Oh.
if Dave
I'm wondering
knows.
if Dave knows what the Republican Party does, because one group definitely does popcorn, and the
It
other
was the
group definitely does
Democratic
some.
committee did popcorn.
Okay.
And so I
Democrats
wonder
are
if the
not.
Didn't the fire
Republicans.
department, did the fire department did the hamburgers or hot dogs or something?
They probably, I think
Yes.
so, because I think my
Yeah.
husband's gonna be there
They
for
do
that.
hot dogs and
Yeah.
fries,
Yeah.
the athletic
Right.
association's breakfast sandwiches,
Mhm.
then
Right.
there's food trucks. I mean, honestly, everything that I was on my list to do, I've already either
Okay.
reached out to the person or booked them.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
So Nicole,
So-
any of the filing, as I done earlier, just put that aside in the folder and I'll take care of that for you.
What's that?
I need a filing.
Oh, yeah,
For
I
the
do have to
filing
say,
for that.
awesome in helping me organize the
Yeah.
office.
Go
Yeah.
Pat.
You are
Yeah.
so good,
Just,
Pat.
just
Thank
give
you
me a
for all
call
of
when
that.
you're ready for that.
Okay.
Thank you for helping with that.
Yeah.
You can come organize my house anytime you want.
No, thank you.
That's gonna be her
Jesus.
Jamie.
her new gig.
Right?
Whenever you come back.
Oh.
Right. Okay. All right. So it sounds like you're in decent shape for that. But if there is something that you need, or like if there's a park and rec table that needs to be manned, and we can all sign up for shifts, just
Yeah,
let us know that information. We could even, I'll put it on our August meeting agenda again, just to kind of check in to see where we are. But we're happy to
yeah,
help
so
with
we have
that
a
stuff.
meeting next week and I can
Right.
ask Janet,
Okay.
where, what, our responsibilities are exactly.
That sounds good. Our table at the trunk or treat was super well received, so we could certainly do that again.
Yeah,
Right.
Inside, we hit the inside spot again.
maybe we could talk about that at the, August meeting, because I think we should start getting ready for that and what
Yeah.
it entails.
That was super fun and super easy, and we got preferential spot, which was really nice, that we could put in for again.
Yeah, we kept it
This
super
year.
simple, Nicole. We just brought like two little basketball things and let the kids like throw balls to get candy.
Yeah,
And it was-
and they had the best time.
It was easy breezy. I think we put up a couple of inflatables and called
Yeah,
it.
we had some of the Halloween ones kind of going.
Right. Yeah.
We had a corner spot at the firehouse, and it was cute. And we had like candy, and then we had non-candy options too.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it worked.
Yeah, it was good.
Alright, cool.
And it was
Yeah.
our first team, our
Yeah.
first accomplishment as a committee.
Yeah.
It totally was.
Right. 5 minutes after we started.
I do think though that we should all do costumes though. Like we have more time this time to like plan good costumes. I love a good theme.
I don't dress
I
up.
was gonna say, somebody comes up with a theme and tells me what to order off of Amazon. I'm there for it.
Listen, I'm all about the onesie life. If we
Mike's
could
gonna
just get
want
onesies, I'd be
Scooby-Doo.
all about that.
Mike's gonna want Scooby-Doo, he's got a Scooby-Doo.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I
So
love it.
see, there you go. Okay.
Right.
Miss
That is
out on
cute.
dress up.
I know. My kids, I think, are gonna go with Sandlot. I think we're gonna be characters from Sandlot this year.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one with the dog? The dog-to-bird dog?
Yeah.
Julie dog?
Yes.
I'll be the
Aw.
dog.
There you go.
Okay. Anything else for good of the order that we want to discuss? We could certainly add it to our agenda. Otherwise, that's it for tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I move that we adjourn?
I definitely think that that's in order. So it is 8:05 and we are officially adjourning this evening's meeting. I don't think anybody will vote to oppose that.
No.
So
No.
that will be it. Pat, enjoy the rest of your vacation. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us from there.